Sharing our stories reminds us of the common ground we share. The aim of the Salina Storytelling Project is to strengthen our community's literacy and social-emotional growth through listening, discussion, and reading. We do this by using literacy techniques that amplify the stories of people who live in Salina, Kansas.
I was born in Dominican Republic, a beautiful and small half island in the Caribbean. It's about 11 million people within 48,671 square kilometers. I went to college there and have my bachelor degree in modern languages. I was working for the French Alliance and the French Embassy in Dominican Republic, especially in Santiago, my closest city. Suddenly, I found myself living in New York with my dad. Can you imagine driving 45 minutes on Highway 495 East? It is always packed. So you will take at least an hour to get to work every single day. And I said, well, it looks like probably we need to do something different, just like not being spending our whole life here driving up and down. So we decided that we needed to go somewhere else. We needed to find another or a different horizon in our lives. Rent, food, car insurance, daycare, everything in general. The cost of living in New York is very high, especially when you don't have a really high income. So you can have a normal job and make some money, but still, the cost of living is very high. Well, then we would just decided to go somewhere else or do something in a different state. That's how on December 29, 2015, 8 p.m., we found ourselves in the car, knowing that we had 20 hours and 30 minutes ahead, and that is nonstop. My daughter was only 5. She was on the adventure too. Our car became our everything for a night and a day. Can you imagine that? December 30th, 10 p.m. We were just in Topeka. Well, we needed to stop. We were exhausted, very, very exhausted. So we decided to stop, get a hotel, get something to eat, and then continue the next day. But guess what? We were not in New York. So we didn't realize that 10 p.m. in Topeka was meaning something different, meaning that you were not going to find like places open just like you do in New York or things like that. Well, finally we find a hotel and went and get some frozen pizza. Oh, until the next day. Oh, December 31st. Here we are. Hello, Johnson City. Here we are to enjoy with friends and family, to spend the nice days. And you know, we are Dominican, so we're gonna have a party, food, talking, friends, and we are kind of loud sometimes, so party it's always on when we are together. But January 2nd came too fast. We need to go back to our reality, New York City. All right, but something that we had in Johnson City, that we had discovered in Johnson City was there was something different from the life that we were living in New York, and we just saw people were at a different pace than we were. We were just running up and down in there, and people here, they drive peacefully, they don't honk on you, they are not stressing you out, not a lot of people walking on the street. And you know, it was like, oh, we have time, we can breathe, we are free. You know, you don't have to be rushing everybody. So back in New York, my husband started to say like, well, I think we can move to Johnson City and start a life out there. I was not really sure about that at the beginning, but then we just say, okay. March 13, I was dropping my husband at the JFK airport, Kansas Gate. Oh, wow. yes, we are moving to the Midwest. We didn't know a lot about. We just knew that we came once and it was okay. It was peaceful, so we could come back. I got a job. My husband got a job in a little apartment, bigger than what we had in New York for less than what we were paying. So we were, wow, in heaven. I can join very good. And me, I got a job and also was working um, a nice job too, working in there. But something happened. One day, just my husband came home and said, "Oh, there is a place called Salina that I think is a bigger city." Salina? What is that? Where is that? How far it is? My husband said, "Just like a few minutes from here." Okay, let's give it a try. So one weekend we came over to discover how Salina was and to just see how different it was from Johnson City, um, related to what we were looking for. Not something so big as New York, Amherst, New York, or not too small as Johnson City. Like just like in the middle of to give the opportunity to our daughter to develop herself and find different things to do and to enjoy. So we came and we decided to buy our house here in Salina and to move, and we did. My husband continued on his job, which is really good because it was like a convenient for him either way in Johnson City or in Salina, so he didn't have to get a new job. Well, so we decided that Salina was a really nice place to live. We found different activities, different places to go, and we were just kind of starting to enjoy our lives here in the Midwest. But something that we didn't really like think about it was how far it was gonna be from our country, and it is really hard to go back to Dominican Republic or to travel from Dominican Republic. From New York, it was only like a 3-hour flight, but from Salina, Kansas, it's kind of hard and difficult to travel a lot. So we have to think about twice before we decide to go home for visiting or anything. But what we enjoy the most here in Salina is how things were just kind of not so easy, but easy on the way that if you have a normal job, just like as we did in New York, you can live here, you can buy your house, you can develop yourself, and so on. So not everything is just so expensive and so not easy to do like in other cities. We just found out that giving the try to the Midwest and to Kansas was something that was going to change our lives forever. Not only the way we see the state from a different perspective, but also how our life were going to change. That was our goal. Like, how are we going to be different being Dominican here in Salina that we didn't know about? So many people basically didn't find anything related to our culture in Salina, but we could find some stuff like for the Latino community, more Mexican. But this is also something that I would like to mention. It being a Dominican in Salina, it's kind of, I don't know. Everybody thinks like if you speak Spanish, you are Mexican, but no, we are Hispanic, we are Latino, we are not Mexican. I mean, I love Mexican people and I really enjoyed everything. I really enjoyed everything from the Mexican community, but I just want to like target that out. Like, not everybody that speaks Spanish is Mexican. We are a lot of Hispanic country, a lot of Latinos. When we talk about Latino, it's because we are in the Caribbean and we speak Spanish, but believe me or not, our Spanish it's different. Dominican, we eat a lot of Mexican food, but not exactly the way they do it. And I love that because that's diversity and that's community building like a community relation with the Mexican population, and we have learned to eat tortillas and their beans and their stuff. But we Dominican, we don't cook the same way, and we don't even like use the same produce. Like here in Salina, we cannot find stuff that we just need in our lives. I mean, and it's kind of just different how we needed to get used to things that were not even close to our culture. Even like a special chocolate that we use to make hot chocolate, or a plantain, green plantains. Plantain for us is Dominican. It's like that's the Dominican power. But we couldn't find that everywhere. And by the way, when we go to a store and we see green plantain, we just got them and pile it as we can at home, because we know that we are not going to find it everywhere that we go. And so on. So as a Dominican family established now in Salina, we had a lot of challenges related to our culture, and of course that was something that we didn't think about it, and it's not something that really bothers us. What the point in here is, like, when you decide to do something different with your life, you have to focus on the new challenges that you're gonna have, and that you will have to change that in your life. You will have to change that.